So welcome to Stoched.com. Wanted to spend a few moments explaining what Stoched.com is about and what you're trying to share with you. So Daniel Kahneman won the Nobel Prize in Economics in 2002 for overturning the theory about how we human beings make decisions in our lives. And he later wrote a book called Thinking Fast and Slow. Thinking fast is the way most people make decisions and approach challenges in their life. Thinking fast, heuristic thinking in terms of rules of thumb, like if the price is too low, there's got to be a catch. Or if I don't know what to do, well, what are other people doing? Let me see if I can follow the crowd. Or is there an expert? Let me see what the expert tells me to do, and I'll just do what the expert tells me to do. People with some other backgrounds like science, technology, engineering, mathematical background, what we call STEM, they have a different way of thinking that Daniel Kahneman may refer to as thinking slow. We learned how to approach challenges and make decisions based on models being abstractions of reality. Sometimes those models are conceptual models, like we could have a conceptual model of how a protein or an amino acid may be looking, how a DNA might look. Or we may have conceptual models for the challenges that we may have a little image in our mind of what might happen in the different scenarios. Sometimes they're physical models, like an architect may make a scale model of a building, or a civil engineer may make a scale model of a bridge and shake it to see how it might withstand an earthquake. Sometimes those models are mathematical models, like Ohm's law, voltage equals current times resistance, or the ideal gas law, pressure times volume equals nRT, the number of molecules times the gas constant times the temperature degrees Kelvin. Sometimes they are simulation programs. Sometimes simulation programs these days even become games like SimCity. But we have simulation programs used by scientists and engineers to help them create an abstraction of reality that they can kind of work with to see how to deal with some of the challenges and how to make some decisions. But the model-based thinking, that thinking slow, that model-based thinking that most of us have learned is deterministic. If you have these inputs going into this model, you can expect this output. And you repeat it as many times as you want, you will always get the exact same outcome. That is what deterministic modeling is all about. And that's what many of us have learned in school. And that's fairly powerful in and of itself. I mean, it gives advantages to scientists and engineers and mathematicians and architects and some of the challenges that they have in their work and perhaps outside of work as well. What we do with Stoched is we go from deterministic modeling and optimization to stochastic. The word Stoched is going off the term stochastic, which is another term for probabilistic. We're going from deterministic to probabilistic or stochastic. Because in the world, there are many things that we do not control. And we want to have good decisions and ways of dealing with challenges that allow us to have good results regardless of things we do not control. So this stochastic engineering, predictive engineering, we can work on a product or a process and either improve an existing product or improve an existing process, or even develop a totally new product or new process using this probabilistic, this stochastic way of taking our model a step further than we have learned in school. So the overall process that we're talking about in improving or developing a new product or improving an existing process, we start by listening to the stakeholders. For a new product, listening to the customers, or listening to the stakeholders within our business, or stakeholders within our home, with our family. We listen to them carefully and then sum up what we have, translate them into a way that we can measure it so we can show our progress towards achieving those expectations that we've heard from our stakeholders. And then once we've summarized them in a measurable way that we can tell how much progress we're making, we flow them down into things we do control or we can control directly. Knobs we can turn or changes we can make, and things we do not control but also affect the outcome. We'll call those noise factors. And then we can use this stochastic approach, a stochastic modeling and optimization approach, predictive engineering, to determine what we need to do on the things we do control so that we are robust against the things we do not control, so that we can have really high confidence in meeting the stakeholders' expectations, perhaps exceeding these stakeholder expectations, regardless of the things we do not control. And in the course of this program, the Stoched program, you will be seeing quite a few success stories. The number of success stories is actually rather impressive. It's heartwarming to me So many times we've been able to make a real big difference in dealing with some of the big challenges that individuals and teams and companies have had. So welcome to Stoched.com and enjoy your journey. I think you will learn and find some very valuable things you'll learn from this program.